I think Lewis took the piss. The fact he took the shortcut and then just fucked off up the road.
Yeah.
They've gone, well, he's gained 5 seconds. You have to go past like last year. You have to look historically, like ages ago.
That's what historically means, mate.
Doesn't it just mean?
I'm not saying recently.
Doesn't it just mean past?
No, that's recently. Historically is like over history, over the history. How do you turn an inch into a mile? You know, how do you get the most squeeze, you know, the most juice out of the squeeze?
Yep. You got anything else? Any other analogies there?
I'll think of something later, don't worry.
Oh no! He's in the fence! The boat's in the fence! They're all in the fence! Oh, unbelievable!
Sound check.
Sound check.
Cheers, Barbo.
Great to be back, Scott. Missed you.
It's good to have you back, mate. How was the Gold Coast on the weekend?
It's great. Great fun. Thanks to the lovely people at Jan's for flying me up to hang out with them and their customers. I got to see how the other half live, mate, and take myself up to Paddock Club, which was awesome.
Treat yourself. And unusually, you didn't have to work at all. No course car rides, no schmoozing, just got to hang out with your friends at Jan's and drink some beers and watch some car. I was very jealous. You sent a photo actually above pit lane with a cold one.
I was actually pretty well behaved in the suite. I probably only had 2 beers on the Saturday.
Yep. Was it warm up there?
It was warm. And, you know, in those marquees where sometimes if the airflow's not going, it can get a bit sweaty.
38 degrees in Brisbane today, apparently.
Yeah, I'm
sitting here in a hoodie. Anyone listening, not watching, I'm freezing. We're down in Melbourne, if you don't know. That's where our podcast is.
Yeah, Woody's PT actually sent me a video today saying, thank God it wasn't today because it's 38 day if his cool suit failed. Fuck. And it was today's heat, you'd be in real trouble.
Yeah,
so.
I feel the pain, Woody. I had a cool suit failure there. I did the enduro there without a cool suit. Morris, when he jumped out, unplugged the cool suit and snapped the fitting off. And it let air in or something. So I got in anyway, pulled the fitting out. Oh, so the hose was off it and I got the fitting out of it.
Yeah.
And then when I plugged in, there was air in the system. And as soon as I drove out, not as soon as I drove out, it was probably 2 laps in, I remember the engineer saying, hey, Scotty, can you just make sure your cool suit's turned on, please? And you know immediately it's fucked because it's on. Like one driver's just got out, I've got in, I don't need to turn it on now. It's already done 30 laps. But so anyway, Woody, I can, feel your pain. It's not nice. And I definitely, when I saw him get out of the car, it was a very familiar feeling. A photo popped up on Facebook a while ago of me sitting at the back of the Gold Coast pit. So it is horrible. There was no exaggeration. What he would have gone through would have been an absolute nightmare. Yeah.
It's good timing that he's put in the effort he has with his fitness and stuff because I actually saw him pre-race and they were doing all the proper pre-cooling procedures and stuff because I was chatting to his trainer for ages.
Adzi, is it Adzi looking after them? Adzi Gordon?
Yep, Adam Gordon. So who's a professional athlete and now runs it. And so, he actually messaged me saying, thank God we did all that work because it did fail. So good on you, Woody, for putting in the effort, mate, because that would have saved you, no doubt, yesterday.
Oh, yeah. And we actually had a few comments from people saying, why do they always fail? They are fairly reliable. I got to say, I reckon I only had 3 in 12 years of full-time racing, which is a pretty good hit rate.
With how many races?
With how many races you're doing, 30-odd races a year, to have 3 in 12 years, I reckon that's all right. And the new system seems to be a lot better because you don't have the dry ice anymore. It's just like an air conditioning unit.
An aircon unit,
But where he was lucky, which wouldn't have been as bad, when I've had cool suit failures, the worst thing is the water is still in the suit and it heats up to cabin temperature and then cooks you from the outside in, similar to a kettle. Apparently he had an issue where the water leaked out. So that would be the best case of a cool suit failure because you just don't have cooling. It's a cool suit failure, but effectively it's just like wearing no cool suit, which isn't as bad as
having heat
in the water in the veins. Often they'll come in and cut your cool suit and actually drain the water out of it for you. I also did see Brody. He had a drink bottle failure, I think, and he was screaming for water in the middle of the race. So must have been humid. Because you can do like the Adelaide 500. The Bend, I didn't drink there, but there's some races that when it's humid, you're just sweating it out and you need the water.
Was humid up there. And I know Brock said in the press conference on Sunday, he actually mentioned, he goes, it was really humid in the cars. So
yeah, right. And the pace is fast to do 209s all day. 109s, not Bathurst anymore. 109s, the pace is fast. But we are back for another podcast. And tonight is a stacked one because F1 was at Mexico. And Nascar was at Martinsville for their final round of the playoffs. And then Supercars were back at the Gold Coast and it was a cracker. We were a little worried off the back of Bathurst being such a high standard and an action pack that maybe the Gold Coast might not live up to that. We thought it would because it is Gold Coast. Certainly did deliver, didn't it?
Absolutely it did. It's amazing what a couple of good races can do. Everyone just gets energised, fans get energised. This is amazing. You have one shit race or 2 shit races now. Everyone's like, this sucks. And then it's just funny how it swings. And
if I wasn't at the race, but I had a great time just messing about with content. I did our first ones where we've wanted this for a while. We've seen Dan Does Footy do it, and we want to have some fun with the talking heads and trying to you film yourself and you talk over vision. And I had a blast across the weekend watching the racing. I was on the edge of my seat, and so I did some reactions across Instagram on our socials. And I thought the racing was unreal, and there's a lot to talk about. And I actually had a moment where I was like, this is going to suck. There's only Sandown and Adelaide left. There's actually only 2 events for the season left for supercars.
2 belters, though.
2 belters, 100%. Before we get into F1, so we'll do F1 first, then NASCAR. We will timestamp the video again like we did the last one where we split F1 and NASCAR. So if you have a favourite, you can just jump through the timeline and find your favourite. But Lancaster Motor Group are giving away a KTM 450 dirt bike. So that is well and truly worth a shout out for you lucky people out there. From now until the 23rd of December 2025, if you purchase $1,000 worth of accessories on a new or used vehicle on their 4x4 store or in their workshop, you'll go in the draw to win. The link will be in the description of this podcast.
How good's that?
That's it, mate.
Get on there, buy yourself some stuff, get a dirt bike.
Exactly, mate. Mexico. Also, actually, before we roll into actual racing, if you're listening and want a good laugh, or if you're considering going to the Mexico Grand Prix, do not go. Have you seen the clip we posted on socials today?
I only go if you've been sparring.
Fuck. I found some clips going to Apex Hunters United on Instagram or Facebook. I've put a clip in there I found some videos while we're prepping for this podcast of fights at the Grand Prix. They are wild, dude.
Crazy. Like, I reckon an F1 race would be the last place I'd think people would start boxing on, but
I couldn't believe it. There was one fight that was in a Ferrari and a Red Bull shirt, like those 2 guys, and they were fucking going at it. The ones, I mean, at the start were pretty bloodied up as well.
They were fighting to the death, mate. It was like a Mexican chicken fight, but with humans. Like, they were going hard.
It was nuts. I did like the very first fight I put in there. As they're walking away, one guy was almost like, "Yep, good scrap, mate. Cheers." Like walking down the stairs, getting escorted by the security guard. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see him like, "Thanks for beating the shit out of me, mate. That was awesome."
Well, it reminded me of like Conor McGregor once lost a fight, and they're like, "How do you feel?" And he's like, "That's fucking great. That's an amazing fight. Loved it. That was great fun." Like, you just built different if you're enjoying a fight. I'm a lover, not a fight.
I just thought they must have been handing out free margaritas or something there, and everyone was just lick it up because Jesus.
There can't be a drink limit because that was insane. But Lando Norris won the Grand Prix.
Absolutely pumped everyone, didn't he?
And he's now leading the World Championship by 1 point, which does suck because we're Australian.
It sucks, but it can be clawed back 1 point.
Can be.
It's not over yet. I'm staying hopeful.
Yeah.
Hasn't had a lot of pace lately though, Oscar.
I think that's the biggest problem.
That's what's worrying. It's not like he crashed out but was leading or was second. Just looks like it's a bit of a boat anchor at the moment. So
yeah, I'm trying to convince myself of every conspiracy theory under the sun, but car speed is just the problem. And I don't know if that is Oscar at the moment, because his run last year at the similar time of the year was very bad as well. Like, he was I think he qualified within one position this weekend as he did last year. His last few rounds, he was qualifying like 8th, 10th, around there, 7th, 6th. So not spectacular. So maybe the tracks that don't favour Oscar, but as a hopeful right now, I'm not feeling that hopeful. I don't, and I'm not one to blame the car or...
No, you would imagine, I don't think... I know there's probably a lot of people that think they've detuned it. I can't see that being the case.
No, and I'm having a blast just one hanging shit on Zach Brown, calling it a conspiracy theory. Obviously, he was my boss at one point. I did drive for him at Walking to Andretti United, but I am sure that they will be giving both their drivers everything they can. I'm just trying to convince myself that it can't be Oscar. But anyway, at the moment, Lando's found his mojo. Oscar hasn't had a podium for the last 4 Grand Prix now. So that is a drought. When you're in the best car in the pit lane, it is.
Is he though, Scott?
Yeah, he's not. The car is terrible, is what it is. The car's a shit box and they've got it in for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he needs to obviously find some form. Brazil is next. Last year, the Brazilian Grand Prix was wild. It rained. Lando had a great opportunity to capitalise, but Max had that lap of the race of the gods pretty much and came through the field.
So we've got, 4 GPs left is there now, mate?
Yes, I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
30 points, I think, is the gap to the 2 leaders, really. So Max, oddly, has actually closed the gap to the championship lead because it's a new leader.
Yes.
But he's only, 30 points or 29 points off of Oscar now for P2. And, Lando is P1 at the moment. But I still can't count out Max. I just think it only takes, like, a crash, a couple of bad races, and at Abu Dhabi, it's within 5 or 10 points again. You know, like 20 points is,
And I think you said, did I dream this, mate? Did you say there's meant to be rain at Brazil?
Every year there pretty much is. So
Yeah, okay. So that could play into Max's hands.
yeah, yep.
Takes a bit of the car out of it.
Yeah, yep. Honourable shout out this weekend has to go to Ollie Behrman. I thought,
Oh, yeah. How was his dad?
yeah, so good.
Just absolutely getting pumped in the pits. And, that was – I thought, same thing, mate. I had that down in my notes. Thought that's a good showing because when he first stepped into the world, when he filled in at Ferrari and he did, I think, finished 7th or 6th, didn't he?
Yeah, it's Singapore, I think.
On
debut.
Yeah, on debut. There was a lot of hype around him. And then obviously he's gone into Haas. It's hard to carry that hype when you're in a backmarking car. So, I thought that was an amazing job by him.
I even like that he mentioned after as well that as a smaller team, they don't have the resources. They don't have, like the bigger teams have. They don't have the newest equipment. And that was something that, I guess because their pit stops are separated by like max, 2-3 tenths of a second, you'd just assume that all of them at least have the same wheel guns and equipment in the pit lane. But he actually said as a smaller team, we don't have the latest equipment in the pit lane either. So he gave a lot of credit to his mechanics. That was their best pit stop. Two of both pit stops were the best pit stops that team had done all year. So he said, what a time for the crew to deliver. That was combined. That was their best performance as a team for Haas. And, I think, you have to execute when you get those moments where you find yourself in P3 and P4. And not only Ollie did, but the team did too. So that was awesome to see. And, of course, his dad, like, motorsport is a journey all our families go on. And it was very relatable when I saw his dad's excitement. But I did love how emotional he is, like how much he just wears it on his sleeve.
Yeah.
And they're from Chelmsford, actually, which is where I lived when I was in the UK too.
Yeah, right.
Must be something in the water there.
Must be.
The opening lap, what did you think of it? Because I just want gravel trap to come back.
I like that it added excitement because Formula One sometimes that can run dry. So I was like, well, this is going to be a banger.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see cars firing off and stuff. But if you leave the track, you should be you should get disadvantaged.
Yeah.
In some, way or shape. Especially in open wheelers. Like normally when you leave the track, you damage the floor. To your point, if they had to run through a gravel trap, chances are they'll damage the floor or tear some shit off or get stuck.
Yep.
So, they probably got away with it. It's the best place to run off if you're going to. I thought it was exciting. I thought Leclerc kind of caused it a little bit. So
on the front straight by moving over on Max a little bit.
And Lewis, and both really. He sort of half caused Lewis to do what he had to do, and then he also ran Max up on the curb, and that's why he locked the front and fired it off. So, but I thought as a punter on the couch, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
No one died.
Did you die?
So
I agree with you said something there. If you go off the track, it's not just about not gaining an advantage. You actually should be disadvantaged.
Yeah.
So even if you come out the other side where you were and you don't gain an advantage, I still don't think that's right. I think it should, if it tears a bit of your floor off because you've gone through the gravel trap, that's part of it. And Leclerc, before we get to Max, I think Leclerc at turn 1, he had a little slide and then chose to shortcut. 100% he chose to shortcut. Because he thought, well, I'm going to be tight too. And this is what I said before Gold Coast. As drivers, we always know before we start the race, if this happens, I'm going there.
It's like when you board a plane and they give you exit strategy if things on fire.
Yeah.
To your point, mate, race car drivers, you're like, right, so if this goes wrong, I'm going here. If this goes wrong, I'm going here.
Yeah.
You have a plan.
He would have known if I'm squeezed a little bit at 1 on the outside, I won't try and make 2. I'll just cut the chicane and come out in front and then give the position back. What screwed him was Max come out of the chicane in front of Lewis. So to give the spot back, he would have to give it back to Max first, then Lewis.
Yeah.
But obviously a couple corners later, Max had returned the position to Lewis, and that was where I felt like Leclerc should have given it back. And this stupid rule of your front axle being in front at the apex actually was in favour of Lewis at the apex.
Yeah, correct.
Lewis was axle in front, so I'm sorry, regardless of the gaining or not gaining, at the apex. And it was funny because Karun was kind of against it, and then he reviewed the vision and live on TV whilst reviewing it, he had Jamie Chadwick in his ear because they were watching as well.
Yeah.
He changed his mind and went, oh, actually, I think you're right here, Jamie. Like, this is something that should have been fixed. And had they done that, it would have changed Lewis's outcome because he then got into the scrap with Max. He then got a 10-second penalty. That would never have happened. So I think it all kicked off, not because of what Max did, but because of what Charles did. Like you said, he's kind of the catalyst for all of it.
Yeah, I think so.
I hope you're enjoying this episode, but I do have to interrupt just quickly to thank our fantastic supporters that allow us to create the content for you. East Coast Car Rentals. If you're in the market for a rental car, think of those guys. And if you'd like a cheeky 15% discount, AHU15 is the discount code there for 15% off. If you're in the market to buy a car, not rent one, Lancaster Motor Group, we've got you covered for new or used cars. So think Lancaster Motor Group. Quadlock, fantastic supporter of our podcast as well. We use their products every single day on the pod using their desk mounts here. Also, we've used them to create the additional content like we did the Adelaide Motorsport Festival using their action camera mounts. So whether it's mounts, phone cases, they've got you covered. Quadlockcase.net. Now, the website for all of these brands that support us will be in the description of this podcast. Back to the show. What do you think of Max's rejoin?
Yeah, I thought it was
exit as well, exit departure.
comical. I was like, where'd he go? Because he kind of went out of shot because he was so high up.
Yeah.
And then he popped back in third, or was he second when
I think, he came out in the lead, and then he had to let him
And then he
go.
sort of rolled back, but like I was just like, what is going on? And then it took, as you said to your point, it took him a bit to sort of shuffle it back, and I was like, oh, there'll be, whitewash from this or penalties or something. But I think he did a good job, but he obviously just kept it buried once he chose that he was going bush.
Yeah. I think once he got on that curb, he's the only one that I'm like, he got squeezed on the curb, like nothing he could have done.
Yeah.
In that instance, he's the only one that actually should have been given a get out of jail free card because he was pushed off the track.
He had no option.
Yeah.
Like he had to go bush.
Yep.
Yeah, totally agree.
You've always got an option.
Oh,
No, I'm joking.
but how wide? Like obviously, but it's like once you go,
Go bush.
I'm going off, you go, well, I'm picking the throttle up again because I'm getting through as quick as I can.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to try and get my disadvantage back somehow, which he did perfectly.
Yeah. No, 100%. You would always choose to go bush. But then when Lewis got the 10-second penalty, that was the one where I think Lewis took the piss. Like he got the spot back on Max around the outside, locked the front, took the shortcut. And I think he feels hard done by because he didn't use the access road that was the shortcut. But that was not what he got the penalty for, I don't believe. I think he went across the grass, rejoined, and then just drove off, like never gave up. I think if he'd have given up the space, then it would have been an argument as to whether or not, even if he held the position, I think then they would have gone back to was his front axle in front or not, and it might have been okay. The fact he took the shortcut and then just fucked off up the road, they've gone, well, he's gained 5 seconds.
yeah.
And so if we just give him a 5-second penalty, he's actually gained that penalty anyway. So I think that's probably why it had to be 10 seconds.
So he hurt himself a little bit, you think? Could have been a bit more strategic about it.
Yeah, and I think Karoon even said that the team radio never even opened. Like they never even said, hey, you should probably give some time up to maybe make it not look so bad. But the shortcutting anyway, all of it could be negated with just some big old gravel traps.
Yep.
And
or
it's,
walls.
Yeah. just stop them.
Just
There's your penalty.
your stuff up. But it's interesting, and that's always, I've always had these chats with people, and this is always the argument. If you go to like Adelaide or a street track, there's walls there, you don't, it stops you from running off. And if you do, you're going to crash. Like, you will avoid them, you'll drive to the conditions.
Yeah.
So it's kind of,
Well, it's like
there's always that argument, I think.
like the turn 8 wall in Adelaide in supercars. You got the exit wall there. We brake at a certain point so that we don't hit the exit wall.
Yeah.
Like if you move the exit wall back 5 feet, we brake a little bit later.
Yeah, correct.
You bring the exit wall in, we brake earlier. Like it's just how it works.
And over the years, they have changed that profile. Remember, it's a lot tighter now than what it used to be. It used to be faster, essentially.
I even was watching the race today from supercars. I will jump to this because it's relevant with the track limits. Turn 1, almost, they say it's not gaining advantage. Almost no cars tried to make the chicane if they're on the right.
Yeah, no, agree.
And the car on the left assumed race line.
Yeah.
So they never tried to give space to the one on the right either.
Yeah.
I'm like, they should just come in and be like, I don't give a shit, guys, if you're single file before the apex. If you cut the chicane, 5-second penalty. Even on the first lap, because it looks stupid. Because even Thomas Randall got a great jump, right, into turn 1. He should have been able to almost assume racing line, but because of the way the track works, Brock was able to brake super late and then just assume race line and force him through. So they went side by side in a corner that really Brock would have had to concede. He wouldn't have been able to just outbrake him and then just push him through the shortcut.
It's almost like they need to use the same, which is hard off race starts because you're side by side, but they almost need to have the same protocol as beach chicane, where there's a point where whoever's in front, to your point, you have to tuck back in and get through the corner.
Yeah. Or it's a monumental shunt. The guys need to pull their fucking head in.
Yeah, otherwise.
It just looked really bad, I think. When I watched it back today, both the highlights, it's just like, No, they went. So, oh yeah, cool. Got side by side. The first corner really is turn 4.
Well, you said in our pre-brief before GC, you said if you start on the right there,
Don't even.
you
consider
pretty much know, unless you get a massive gap on someone, that you're just going to roll through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's silly, I think. But that does translate in Formula 1 too. They're doing the same sort of thing.
Yep. Drivers will always take the piss.
Yeah, and we look.
That's
we look
part of the job description is how do you turn an inch into a mile? You know, how do you get the most squeeze,
Yep.
the most juice out of the squeeze?
Yep. You got anything else? Any other analogies there?
No, I'll think of some later, don't worry. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
You don't like them? Normally you're a fan of mine.
I thought they're great.
Okay.
I just
Sounds like you got a problem with them, Scott.
you gave one, and then I was like, okay, you gave.
I was on a roll, mate. I had a second one ready to go. I was
Okay.
firing off.
What about the George Russell radio calls?
Let's play it.
Yeah, chat with the cable.
We thought about this, didn't we?
Here it is. I got it.
Bloody hell. That's the phone. There we go. I've jazzed that right up, mate, so
Oh, have you?
be careful with the volume.
Beautiful Sunday in Mexico City.
So rear surface temperatures are sky high. George, let's get these under control.
Marcus, I've got a car in my... Okay? The car much quicker than ours. I'm trying to hold position. I've got much more pace than Kimi here, and we can fight for a podium. I'm happy to give the position back if I don't achieve it, but my tyres are just getting sacked here.
Marcus, I've got a car in my fucking ass. Who says in my, not up my ass?
Well, it's kind of the same, isn't it?
I don't know. I feel like it changes the meaning of it a lot.
Does it?
I think so.
I always think up is worse. I don't know if I'm agreeing with you there, mate. Oh, bloody hell, mate.
I don't know.
But either way, he was not having a good time.
He was not stoked, was he? I
I love that, though.
don't mind it.
I love that shit.
I like seeing Georgie boy get fired up.
Yeah. Georgie.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I actually think it was good. I think he was a little peeved about turn 1 still. He kind of is the only thing I would say is it seemed like some of the stuff with George lingered for longer than it should have. And he did say after the race that the start of the Grand Prix was what really had him pissed off. The fact that Max never gets a penalty for exceeding track limits. And he felt as though Max should have given him the place back. When they showed the helicam, though, whatever they call it, he was actually ahead of George well before the brake marker. So in that instance, I think, George, maybe you're wrong there. But anyway, I think they should have let him go 5 laps earlier, and he might have actually had a crack at Berman because they stepped on their dicks a bit. They probably should have listened to George straight away and let him have a go.
Yeah.
Because even when they swapped, I thought it was risky because Oscar was right on the back of him.
Yeah.
I thought they've left this so long, they're going to try and do a swap of the position, and Oscar's actually going to get one of them. Yeah,
No, I agree. I do like Rob Ryan's call here in our Patreon. So for those listening, join our Patreon, and then you can add to the conversation. He's gone, George, getting a bit zesty there. I like it when people say zesty.
Yeah.
It's not a bad one. And then Prezzo's, he did say, I don't think the guys are thinking about their grammar on the radio at about 300k an hour, which is a fair... How many times you just hit the button and you're just screaming down it because you're just like, you're that frustrated and God knows what you're saying at the time. Thank God they don't record my radios.
They only get fined for a press conference, don't they? They can swear on the radio in the race.
You should be able to.
I think if they swear in the...
Yeah, I think they changed that rule, didn't they? Because I think that was in the drivers' meeting a couple of years ago.
Oh,
wasn't
actually, we go by the same rules. And did you hear Andre Heimgartner say fuck in the
it? So
pod?
that'll be, what's that, 10 grand fine or something, isn't it? If you swear.
Nah, because we go FIA rules, F1 rules, it's like 30.
Oh, that was actually quite
I think
funny.
if you say fuck in a press conference and by FIA rules, they're like massive. I think it is like 30 grand for fine. So
it was pretty funny. Everyone's reaction was like,
he's probably just
which is silly.
realised as he said it, gone,
I think that's silly. I think they should be able to like be themselves and just get a beeper if you want. Like have someone, I don't know, like I didn't think it was that bad. But yeah, there was funny everyone's reaction when they're like, oh, you swore.
yeah. I'm going to feel quite bad, actually. Imagine if they were like, someone picked it up on the podcast and that's how they found it.
I'm pretty sure other people picked it up, mate. There's a room full of jam.
Comes out, it's like, as heard on Apex Hunters United first. Then we went and checked, found out, bang.
Well, that'll be the
You're
first time
on
they'll talk about us.
It would be, yeah.
Other than that, mate, the rate, I mean...
Oh, finishing on a virtual safety car.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's about it. But then they just made the world's worst call. 2 laps to go of racing.
Yeah.
They bust out the virtual safety car for a car that's behind the wall. And they'd already done a lap. Everyone had been through for a lap anyway, seen where it was. It was double wave yellow.
Yeah.
No risk. It's like an 80k an hour corner. It's slow. 0 risk. They bust that out. It just ruined the race. You had Max, it was potentially hunting.
Yep. He was right on
Leclerc. And then you had Oscar that potentially could have grabbed his point back.
Yeah.
Which stopped, whether he would have, but it took away that opportunity of a lap of racing.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was absolutely dog shit.
Well, and F1 is desperate for overtaking and racing. And we had four cars, 2 position changes that could have potentially happened, and which you just don't see very often.
Yeah.
And we brought out a virtual safety car when a double wave yellow would have been sufficient in that sector.
100% double wave for another lap.
Yep.
If there was 10 laps to go, fine, get it. There might have been stuff you had to do, but literally there was, 3 minutes left of racing, if that.
Double wave. If it was on, I saw someone comment and said that because of the smoke, officials needed to get out and put it out. Double wave yellow. That's what that's for.
Correct.
Continue racing.
Yep.
Double wave. That's literally that's what it's for. I'm sorry, mate. I didn't reply to your comment because I want to do it in the podcast.
Yeah.
That is what.
Yeah.
If the rear wheels are sticking out from behind the wall and they need to put it out of the extinguisher, double wave yellows.
Yep.
That's what it's for.
That's exactly what it's there for. Yeah.
So, actually, I didn't put it in our notes, but did you see Liam Lawson nearly run over 2 blokes crossing the track?
I saw something briefly on socials, but I didn't catch it all. I saw a still with it highlighted of the 2 people.
Yeah.
So were they marshals?
Running across the track, picking something up after the first lap, I believe. And I think he, for whatever reason, it might have been the first part of the race, and for whatever reason, he was out of position and coming through after the field.
Yeah.
And they were crossing the track.
Yeah, wow.
So, yeah.
That's heaps worse than the kangaroo.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't believe it. It actually did surprise me.
Is that the marshals doing it without being told, or do you know what caused the scenario?
Well, I think that's what surprised me. Like, why would they? It surprised me because you wouldn't think they'd be allowed to cross the track without someone saying cross the track. And for
usually
someone to
comes
say
from
cross the track like that.
Usually the race director or someone up in the tower will be like, yep, flag point 7.4, you're good to go now, go retrieve that bit of carbon fibre or whatever.
Exactly.
They wait for a call. So, I don't know.
Unless they really made the mistake because Liam had pitted and was exiting the pit lane.
Yeah.
They just thought
Mistimed it.
everyone had gone through and it would be safe. But, man, what a big – imagine if someone did get injured, the bloody the nightmare that would cause if someone was given the approval to cross the track and then they get hurt. So, yeah, that was – I didn't see it during the race. I don't think it made the coverage. I think it was just popped up on socials today. But that shocked me. Yeah. Anyway, I've really just put in at the end, can't wait for Brazil.
Yeah.
So I think that's the Grand Prix for me that's usually a standout because of the weather. Shit happens there. You can actually overtake there as well, which always surprised me. Like a track like Mexico, there's no overtake. Like it's actually a track on paper you'd think with that straight, there'd be overtaking, but there is fuck all normally. Whereas you go to somewhere like Brazil, turn 1's a really good spot. Like you can get a run up out of the last corner, pass into 1. So we've seen some great racing there.
Quickly, who's your money on to win Brazil if you had to pick
Max.
one? Max?
Yeah.
Yep. And does that change whether it's wet or dry, mate?
No.
No.
I'm
going to go Oscar's the bounce back.
Yeah.
He needs it.
Yep.
So
I think last year's qualifying was wet, so I don't think there's really a form guide by memory. I think because the problem was I think Max either crashed, spun, or didn't get out for the last part of qualifying, and that's why he was at the back. So I should have gone back and looked, but anyway, I don't think there's really a form guide there at the moment, which probably makes it more exciting.
We just wing it, mate. It's what we do here. So that's F1.
It is NASCAR.
Let's get stuck into NASCAR, mate. Martinsville. And you were pretty happy with this because if you listened to our show the other day, we picked who we thought was going to go well. And you said historically JGR go like shit. And I found a video of like the last 15 wins I've had in 25 years. I sent that to you, but then you came back to me and said, but Byron won it last year. He's going to win it this year.
I never once said that JGR historically goes shit. I said, I'm picking Byron.
You said historically, how far back do you want to go? And I said...
No. Let's just actually settle this now.
That's
okay?
exactly what it was.
It is not what... I'll go back and find the clip and fucking put it in our short form because it is not what happened. I said, I'm picking Byron because he had 2 races in the lead up to Martinsville where he was the fastest car, I thought, and had things go wrong, whether he was taken out by that car pitting. I can't remember what happened last week, but he was screwed. And he should have, I felt like he should have won. And that was why I felt like just given his form... heading into Martinsville, he can win. Then I went back and looked, and I was like, oh, he won there last year.
You're saying your guess was calculated?
It was calculated. Then when I said it, you were like, I'm going these guys because historically they're really good. And I said, well, you have to go past like last year. You have to look historically, like ages ago.
That's what historically means, mate.
Doesn't it just
I'm
mean...
not saying recently.
Doesn't it just mean past?
No, that's recently. Historically is like over the history.
So not even in the current gen car, you're saying?
Correct.
Well, how's that relevant?
As a team, I'm saying historically.
I think that's
over the history.
See, that's just fucking stupid.
Well,
anyway.
you won in the end,
Anyway,
and Seabell, who I picked, did not.
Yeah, who was right in the end, Bubs?
You were well done, mate.
Exactly.
It's about time. Congratulations.
It's going to go down in history now that he won back-to-back years.
Yeah, so next year when we're talking about this.
Oh, okay, so last year will be historically then.
Yeah.
But he's in the playoffs now, so I'm very excited. You were close though because you actually picked.
Seabell, I think.
You did, but you also picked. It was Blaney. You actually just like to pick everyone.
I always pick 3 or 4 to head my bets.
But you did. You picked Blaney, Elliott, and Seabell. Blaney and Elliott were second and third. And Blaney was fast. I think he qualified 30-something.
He was 31st and he finished second.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I thank you for the pump up, mate. But those 3 names, they're like stars. So it's not like I'm a magician by picking 3 of the best guys in the category.
You also did pick like 40% of the people that are in for a shot to win.
But I guess, yeah. So you were right, mate. I was wrong.
Thank you.
Shane qualified 22nd.
Yeah.
So I guess, 6 months ago, would say well done.
Yeah. I think he was a bit
now with his
disappointed.
recent form, he sort of said it was a bit average to us, but he raced good. We'll go through the race results. In the race, so lucky that Chase Briscoe and Denny are already through.
You got it in your mouth.
What was that? I thought it was a bit of fluff. They're already through because they had engine dramas. So 3 Toyotas shit themselves
Yeah.
at Martinsville, which is very strange. And I half got my tinfoil hat out today and I went through the engine rules and thought, is it so they can use, not that it'd be strategic, but did they run old dungers or their oldest batch so they could get a fresh one for Phoenix? Because, the way their allocation works, you have to run
That makes sense,
a
maybe.
used and things like that. So I thought maybe they're running their 2 race old motors now so they can run a freshie for, or because there's a rebuild rule. I think if you rebuild it, you then can go fresh. So I just wondered if there was something in that. And I think even one of the commentators might have mentioned it too. He said, I wonder if there's games going on with the motors there. So
Well, it's interesting that you just said that actually because Prezzo has put in our chat as well that he said they were running experimental shit in those engines and you can't convince me otherwise. And I probably wouldn't say it's a bad shout.
no, they'll be trying everything to win.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So Hamlin, he had an engine failure. And the crazy thing is that like last week he had the throttle issue at Dega and then he had the starter motor issue at the start of the race as well, this one at Martinsville.
Yeah.
And then the engine failure. So hopefully, and then I think what was before Dega? There was another mechanical issue he had prior to that one.
Yeah, because Dega was a throttle. I'm just trying to think what was before that.
Something before that, I thought.
Yeah. And Prezzo said, larger valves maybe. Prezzo said that all championship Ford drivers get brakes on the engine rule. So if that's the case, which I didn't know, so thank you, Prezzo, then they're probably trying experimental shit to try and get a bit more ground.
Well, let's hope that they don't have mechanicals next week. Well, this weekend, because that'd be a disaster.
I'd almost be feeling better if there was some concerns there and I had a shit one the week that's just gone because I'd be like, bad luck's out of the way. We're good now.
I don't think there's any bad luck in that.
In an engine failure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in any of those issues, it's like Walkinshaw at the moment. I think like you can't say out of our control. They're in your control, guys. They're all your mistakes. I think when you have like the throttle issue, like I've had throttle issues at Sandown before, and it was just because we had ran the cables for too long and they got grit in them, so jamming. I'm like, well, that was just that. I had a throttle drama, and you're like, well, that was self-inflicted. Same as the engine stuff. If there could have been a mistake in them, there could have been something they did wrong. I don't think. You know what I mean? Like it not running the race, the full distance, is not luck. That's you obviously didn't build it it didn't last because there's something in the engineering that wasn't right.
Yeah, depending on what happened. Like if a bit of pickup flicks up and gets jammed in you, then that's a different story. But if it is from mechanical neglect or not life in parts properly and shit like that, then
having 3 failures, that's where I just say. You'd hope that the experimental shit is what's causing them, and then you go there and okay, we've done our experimenting, and now that's where you're saying, I guess, that you hope that's behind you, and then that's your bad luck gone.
Yeah, and you hope that, to your point too, mate, you hope that they know why.
Yeah.
And they're not going, oh, fuck, we didn't expect that.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine that right now. You're heading into your championship round, and you
hope they go, well, let's just run these on these 2s because these 2 are in. Look, we may finish, we may not, but if we don't, we know.
Yeah. Hunters, I just want to take a moment to thank one of our fantastic supporters, Shaw & Partners Financial Services. Shaw & Partners are a leading national investment advice and wealth management firm. They act for and on behalf of individuals, institutions, corporates, charities, and family offices. So, If you're looking for advice or assistance with investments or strategies, look no further than Shaw and Partners Financial Services. With a 35-year history and 8 offices strategically placed all over Australia, their financial advisors are within reach and ready to provide tailored solutions and advice. For more information, follow the link in the description of this podcast. Back to the show. I love the way that Logano put Championship week into perspective. He said, like, anyone telling you it's just another week can't sleep, and they're telling themselves that so they can try and sleep at night. That's all it is. If you're in championship contention, it's not just any other week. It's the most stressful week of your life because it's what your dreams are made of. That is the week where you might finally achieve the biggest goal you've ever wanted to in your entire life. So it's not just another week. And he did say, if you're telling yourself that or saying it out loud, it's to try and help yourself sleep at night. That's all it is.
And that's probably a great shout, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's been there. He would know all of it.
Because you only talk to yourself like that when you're stressed about anything, right? You're like, oh no, it'll be okay.
Yeah, no, it's just another week, and meanwhile, you've got insomnia and you're rooted.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but it was cool to see Byron get the win, and I'm actually really happy Larson stayed in.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. So we've got 2 Hendricks.
I'm just wrapped
and 2 JGR cars.
Penske.
I texted you this morning watching the race.
When you said that, I was like, I don't care if you're right and Byron wins. Because, I'm just happy that they don't have to go up against Blaney or Logano because, especially at Phoenix.
I know.
And look, credit to Blaney because he did start 31st and he came to second and he had a chance of winning that. Yeah. He's just bloody good at coming through the pack, isn't he? Like, he just always seems to, doesn't matter where he starts a race from. And it's obviously a little bit of Ryan Blaney. It's also a little bit of Penske.
Yep.
Like, they're obviously really good in the lane. The strategies are good. Cars are fast.
Yeah.
But every time you just cannot count that bloke out, especially when it's that pack racing, getting through, having to make moves, having to be aggressive.
I think he did well. Like on the super speedways is where I've been impressed with those guys. There's a few, and Blaney's one of those guys that finds his way to the front. But then at Martinsville, he was passing cars, and it's different there. It's not drafting and putting yourself in the right position and reading the run from different lanes. Genuinely raced up there. And I did love, what do you think of, I loved it, Byron's move for the win with 44 to go.
Shipped him up a bit.
Yeah.
Textbook.
I reckon if in that instance I was thinking, I know Shane said, well, you've never raced with spotters, so you don't know, and that's true.
Yeah.
But I reckon if...
Would you know that?
I reckon if Blaney had a left-hand mirror, he would have read him coming and blocked him.
Well, they can see it in their cameras, though.
Well, then why the fuck didn't he block? I thought he left the door open a bit. He kind of just half walked it across the track.
Yeah,
it was pretty clear that I thought Byron had a run.
Yeah, maybe he thought where the lane he was running was the optimum lane for what he had underneath him for grip. I'm not sure. That's where he could roll the most entry speed or something. I'm not sure. But,
because they're braking hard in there, I feel like you're just leaving the door open into a braking zone where they can chip you, which is what happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he stayed where he stayed and whether a mirror would have helped or not. But I thought it was textbook by Byron. And that's the sort of stuff you want to see in finals. I think that...
Yeah, definitely.
And I think... We'll talk about supercars in a minute when we get to it, but I think that is what that style of racing creates, is that how much do you want it?
Yeah.
Are you willing to bleed off the brake and door this bloke and potentially have to juke out in pit lane for the win? And I think that was awesome.
And I do like their mentality. There's no conversation after the race where they feel hard done by. It's just that's the race. That's the motorsport.
That's how we go racing.
That's how they go racing there. And it didn't wreck him. He
had the opportunity, and perfect, mate. Like, he had the opportunity to come back on the next restart or the next lap and serve him back.
Exactly.
So I just thought that was good hard racing. I thought, good from Willie Byron.
The other one was as well for William Byron. So I put in the notes by accident, Blaney, but Byron never lost a single spot in the pit lane all day.
Yeah.
And under immense pressure in those finals moments, that's what you have to do.
Well, we've seen the Hendricks workshop.
Executed.
It's pretty nice. So they've got some good stuff there. So I'm sure they've been training.
That was cool. Like putting your phones away and taking us through there for a tour was really a cool experience. And it was if you've been in a doctor's surgery, it is like that. Like I said to you, it's almost like they've got an air purifier in here. Yeah. Like it felt.
You walked a little taller through there, didn't you?
You did. I tucked my shirt in.
But actually, while we were there, it won't be finished yet, but they were actually building a whole new precinct just for their pit crew as a training gym, recovery centre. Like, they were investing heavily.
Well, they mentioned about that gym for all their workshop, for their pit stop crew. If I could try and put it in perspective size-wise, I reckon it would have been, you've been to 888, how many 888 factories would you say because it's a lot. Like if you just think of square meters and put it inside what they're talking, this is just for their pit stop crew to train.
I would say, and you'll probably say whether I'm close or well off, but I would
Quite a high
say
number.
probably 4 of them maybe just for their training facility. And this is purely just gym where they'll do pit stop practice and then recovery zone. So like they'll have cold plunges, saunas and all that stuff, remedial massage and whatnot.
So I reckon,
Amazing.
I that's kind of the number I was thinking, 4 or 5 of Triple Eight's full workshops just for that. And they got like 50 athletes on rotation.
Well, Penske had 50, didn't they?
Yeah.
So Hendrick would be very similar, if not more.
Yeah. So I just found that amazing. And then when you see them in those championship moments, the reason they're able to execute like that as well, I think, is because you've got athletes that have been in those high pressure environments, and you can't.
They've won championships in like sport and other things.
Yeah, and you might. Everyone in day to day life feels pressure, but I don't think there's any pressure like an athlete with everyone watching in a split second that they have to make these decisions and execute with all that pressure. I don't think there's any simulation for something like that in any day to day life. I don't think there's ever pressure.
No.
Like that where your deadline isn't next week or tomorrow or anything like that. The car's approaching you and you have 8.5 seconds to complete the 4 tyre stops with no mistakes, and then you got to do that multiple times through the day. And I think when everyone's watching, if they lost one spot in the final stop, not just to Blaney but someone else, that could have been their championship over.
Yeah.
So very cool, and that was why I liked as well. I mean, that's why we came back from America saying we need to make the pit stops more important. Look how much credit Chaz gave to his team after the race for winning that.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. We want the crew to feel like they're part of the bloody performance, and they should.
And we were lucky enough to go over there and witness it firsthand with them even warming up. And you said how cool is it watching the guys warming up so as the drivers getting buckled into the car, the pit crew were doing all their stretches and warm up, and they're going into battle just as much as it's impressive to see. If you haven't seen it firsthand, it is really, I know we talk about it a lot, but it blew us away, and it's part of the show. It's a big part of the show.
Yeah, and there are some comments that say we don't want to be like NASCAR. I agree, we've got our own thing, and I think Gold Coast demonstrated that we have the best racing product, I think, in the world.
Yeah.
But geez, you can. I feel like if you could take some of those things from it, that mentality and the preparation stuff for pit stops and the emphasis on how critical that is to actually winning a race, not just when fuel covers everything. Could you imagine over there if your fuel was 25 seconds and it's only 8 seconds? What the fuck? That would kill NASCAR. All of a sudden coming down pit road wouldn't even be a story. That's why they have all the yellows.
Yeah.
Because the pit road is what makes the races exciting. Imagine if 25 seconds every time they come in, you'd just be like, waste of fucking time.
Yep. Let's read through the results, hey?
We probably should get to that.
So, William Byron won. Well done, William. Ryan Blaney second. Chase Elliott third. Ross Chastain was fourth, so it was a good day for Ross. Kyle Larson was fifth. Ryan Preece, he was also solid, wasn't he, throughout the race? He was sixth. Christopher Bell, seventh. I had my money on Chris Seabell. Joey Logano, eighth. Todd Gilliland was ninth. And then Josh Barry was 10th. And I won't read out all the rest, but Shane, solid recovery, mate. He had another top 15th with 14.
Yep. He ran 8 to 12 all day. I think
he was eighth in stage 2, was it? Stage 2 and 8, so he grabbed some stage points there.
I will jump in and make a quick note because I'm sure the FIA and NASCAR, the heavy hitters, would listen to this podcast.
Absolutely.
So if we could, when you're scheduling the Mexico race next year, could we just offset the start time a couple of hours?
Yeah, so
because I did find that difficult today to switch between the channels to catch everything.
It's not even an option. You just go straight to NASCAR.
No, I was lap for lap. I was wearing the remote out. Luckily it was just up and down. But, I was up and down all day. So I did miss I missed the fucking stage finish for stage 1. But, Shane had a good day. He ran well and then finished 14th. And I'd be curious, someone in the comments can let us know now. I didn't think of this pre-pod. What's been his run for the last, say, 4 ovals? Because I think
they've all been top
15s?
I think the last 3 have been top 15 off the top of my head.
Yep. So that has to be, when you're looking at next year, he's potentially going to win 3 to 5 road courses next year. I think it's 5 road courses in total next year.
Yeah.
He's probably going to win 3 to 5 of them. And if he can run top 10, top 5, I think he can get through to the top 8 next year.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Yeah, and I think if he can start running...
Averaging P13, Tom Ransom's put in there.
Good on you, Tommy. Thanks, mate. If he can consistently always be on that last restart, with a couple laps to go, which always happens in most speedways, if he can be in that pack of 10, then it's just going to be a matter of time before he wins one.
Yeah,
because the way a wreck falls and all that stuff and getting pushed at the right timing, jumping on the right train. And he's getting he's averaging now 13. So he's very, very close.
Yeah, exactly.
And that team's only going to get better too.
Yeah, yep, definitely.
So it's exciting for Kiwi and Aussie NASCAR fans.
Playoff standings, dude. We've got Chase Briscoe. He's my man for the win. I'm backing Chase. What?
No, it's good because
Well, I back Aussies. You just back Denny no matter what. So I'm going for James Small.
I back people, mate.
Yeah, and I like James Small. All right, I'm backing our man. So anyway, Chase Briscoe's number 1, Denny's P2, P3, William Byron. Obviously, the order of these doesn't actually matter. And then 4th is Larson. So there is your final 4: Briscoe, Hamlin, Byron.
Do you know what?
And Larson.
I clearly want Denny to win.
Yep, I could see that.
And I would love also Chase to win for James's point of view.
Are you going to pick all 4?
No, but I'm saying it's actually, at the end of the day, I quite like all 4. Like, I'm not going to be sad by any of those. Lawyer, if there was,
Yeah.
As an example, I don't know, if a Penske car won it again,
I know.
even though I like playing, I'd be like, oh, that's shit for the story.
Yeah.
That's shit for the fans.
Even Larson, like the fact he's won already, it doesn't change. The season has had so many challenges. I think the emotion of winning for him would be so great that as a fan, you'd have to appreciate it. Because it's kind of been cool that someone so good has had such a shocker with just shit happening. And he's still been up there in points anyway. But
he's had a roller coaster, man, hasn't he, the last few years? So
yeah, so I think even if Larson won, would be amazing. I'd love to see William Byron win. That would be his first, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So that would be his first championship.
It would just be so.
I'm with you on Denny. Like
It would just be very, I don't know if poetic's the right word, but it would be just really cool to see him get that done.
I know. It's one of those ones that I would not be disappointed. I'm obviously going for Chase. I have all year. I've mentioned earlier now.
And you like the number 19.
Well, 19. My company's called 19 Media.
Is it? Who named that for you?
You named that. The creative side comes from you. You also named my first dog. But yeah, anyway, 19's the reason I got 19 actually, this is a fun little side story. When I got my race license in 1997, you had to choose a race number. My dad was a massive Dick Johnson racing fan. He said, can we have 17? And they said, oh, no, sorry. Nick Pavan's got that. One of my mates ended up being a mate of mine in Adelaide. He's got number 17. Well, can we have 18? Someone else had 18. He's like, oh, for fuck's sake, fine, we'll take 19. So in 97, when I signed up and got my license, 19 was my number. And I ran that all the way through my racing career pretty much until I got to cars when you can't choose your number.
Yeah.
So then when Chase Briscoe this year, we really started to follow him because of James. And I'm like, fuck, number 19, there's a good omen in this. I'm very superstitious. I feel like this is his year. First year in the 19 as well for Chase. I'd love to see him get it done. But, of course, Denny, I mean, he is one of the GOATs and he hasn't got a championship to his name, so that's probably the last piece he needs for his puzzle to be completed, isn't he?
Yeah. As I say, it's going to be good. I can't wait to watch it, so it's going to be awesome. But that's NASCAR, mate. They're off to Phoenix. We'll find out this time next week who is the champion.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.